fact that you are not allowed to use a megaphone on a Sunday is outrageous. We have too many regulations stopping democracy and not enough regulations stopping Wall Street from misbehaving. We have too many regulations stopping democracy and not enough regulations stopping Wall Street from misbehaving. You should have the right to walk down the street peacefully and demonstrate your views. You should have the right to walk down the street peacefully and demonstrate your views. And not be arrested and not be sprayed with pepper spray. And not be arrested and not be sprayed with pepper spray. So now I want to talk a little bit about what I said in Spain and then come to the banks. Now I want to talk about a little bit what I said in Spain and then about the banks. The protest there are called indignados, and I said, you are right to be indignant. You are right to be indignant. The fact is, the system is not working right. The fact is, the system is not working right. It is not right. It is not right that we have so many people without jobs. That we have so many people without jobs. When we have so many needs that we have to fulfill. When we have so many needs that we have to fulfill. It's not right that we are throwing people out of their houses. It's not right that we are throwing people out of their houses. When we have so many homeless people. When we have so many homeless people. Our financial markets have an important role to play. They're supposed to allocate capital, manage risk. But they misallocated capital and they created risk. We are bearing the cost of their misdeeds. There's a system where we socialize losses and privatize gains. That's not capitalism. That's not a market economy. That's a distorted economy, and if we continue with that, we won't succeed in growing, and we won't succeed in creating a just society.
Most of those investments went bad. Economists call this asymmetric incentives. You make money by taking risk. But nobody takes it away from you. When the strategies don't work and lose lots of money. That was one of the core problems with Wall Street.
That was one of the core problems with Wall Street.
Could Washington have done something about that?
Could Washington have done something about that?
Yes.
Yes!
There were other problems.
There were other problems.
I'm going to throw it to Joe to talk about other problems. Who are you?
Joe Stiglitz.
Jeff. Jeff Madrid.
So one of the things the banks did was to prey on the poorest Americans.
One of the things the banks did was to prey on the poorest Americans.
Predatory lending.
Predatory lending.
Say that again.
Predatory lending.
We knew about it.
We knew about it.
There were some people who tried to stop.
There were some people who tried to stop.
But they used their political power. Wall Street used their political power to stop those who would stop them.
And they'll continue that. What's to stop Wall Street continuing to use their political power to prevent?
Just to keep going on this, the FBI actually told the powers that be that there was an epidemic of fraud. In 2004. In the mortgage market. Washington and the Federal Reserve had the power to do something about that. They did not. The more bad mortgages went on, the predatory lending got worse. And the powers that be, in particular, and let me name names, Alan Greenspan, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, was able to retire in glory. Is there something wrong with this picture? There sure is. And there are a lot of other areas we can discuss. We can take questions. Did you want to say something?
Okay, let me tell you two more things. After the bubble broke, they continued in their way of disobeying the law, in a sense, throwing people out of their houses, even in some cases when they did no money. The balance of rights has been distorted. We bailed out the banks with an understanding that there would be a restoration of lending. All there was a restoration of bonuses. Unless we deal with the anti-competitive practices, with the reckless lending, speculative behavior, with the anti-competitive practices, unless we restore finance to the function which it should serve, we won't have a robust recovery.
One last point and then question. There have been few civil suits by the federal government they settle.
Even when they make them, they settle.
There may be some hope.
There may be some hope.
Somebody is lighting a fire under prosecutors and attorneys general.
Somebody